Hello, my friend. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for your patience with this video. This video was separated into two parts. The first part was kind of like a basics of lip balm and your lips and the structure of your lips kind of video. And this one is the nitty gritty. This is the one with all the information that you're gonna need to be able to go into a store, look at the back of a box or look at the side of a rolly lip balm and be able to decide whether that lip balm is going to be effective for the purposes that you need. And I think that's all we ever want in products, is to be able to go into the store and make an educated choice. So we're gonna do that today. We're gonna give you those tools today, and I'm so excited to go over not 20 lip balms, 21 lip balms. I added one per huge request. So if that sounds interesting to you to learn about popular lip balms and why they may be good or not good for you, hang tight. We're getting into it right now. BT dubs, I am so sad that you can't see my cute little necklace that's hanging here. I have no idea where I got this. I'm currently in the middle of packing and I found this necklace that I purchased a long time ago and it looks really cute with this shirt, but you can't even see it. So it's there, just so you know what's hanging here. I also wanted to very quickly go over what's on my face because I've been getting a request for that lately. So very quickly, I have Smoke Sessions by Melt on my eyes. This is purchased. On my cheeks today, I have Milani's Luminoso. This was PR. I also have the Sigma Sculpt Highlight and Contour Palette. I used the shade Hollow as a contour today, and that was sent in PR. Ofra's Talia Mar Highlighter in Soho. This was also sent in PR. And that's what's glowing on my cheeks right now. And then finally, I am not on Huda Beauty PR, so I'm not sure exactly how I got this, but I know I did not purchase it. I'd imagine it came in a BoxyCharm or something like that. This is the shade Foxy by Huda Beauty, and that's what's on my lips today. I'm surprised at how opaque it is. Very, very surprised. Quite comfortable as well. And I'm kind of digging on this shiny brown lip. So now that we've gone through that, let's get going, okay? The question is, what are we looking for in general in these lip balms? First thing you're looking for is a healing ingredient high up. These are usually butters and oils. These are going to help heal your lips if they have already sustained damage. Now, you can get a lip balm that's just protecting. It'll protect your lips, it'll do just fine, but if you can get one that heals your lips as well while it's protecting your lips for the exact same price, why not, right? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. You can also look for something called a humectant. Some very common ones in lip balms are glycerin and hyaluronic acid. Its job is to pull moisture from other ingredients into your lips. If water is one of the ingredients, that's wonderful paired with a humectant, but just know that your lip balm will probably have a shorter shelf life. Definitely give it that sniff test every once in a while and make sure it's still good. It should still last you a good solid year, but you know, if it's been over a year, give a little sniff, make sure it still smells good. Next are the protecting ingredients, which are usually waxes and silicones. That's gonna help seal in the humectant so that your lips don't have the water that's in them evaporating into the air. It's gonna keep all of the moisturizing ingredients solid, sucked in and on your lips. It's also gonna protect you from further damage from the environment. And one thing I really want you to remember is that the body doesn't understand what bougie means, okay? The body does not understand fancy schmancy versus, you know, something that's very inexpensive. All it understands is the molecular level. So if an ingredient is hydrating and it's very expensive and very fancy and very talked up through marketing, it's probably most likely going to do something very similar, if not the exact same thing, as something that's very inexpensive in a very inexpensive product. Other things we want to look for are sunscreens in our lip balm. Sunscreen on the rest of our face is not going to work great on our lips because we are constantly licking our lips. Our lip skin is different. So if you are very interested in protecting your lips from sun damage, which we really should all be, you definitely want to find a lip balm with sunscreen. We're not going to focus on sunscreen today, but definitely take special note of the ones that do include sunscreen. You also want to keep in mind fragrances and flavors. Fragrances and flavors can be skin sensitizing, means that you may be fine with fragrances and flavors, but after you use them over a long period of time, your skin could become sensitive to them and they could could be irritating to you if they are not already. If you already have sensitive skin, we're going to be talking about which ones have fragrances and flavors. And the last thing is allergens and irritants. And we're going to talk about a lot of allergens and irritants as we go. But keep in mind, if you are not allergic to some of these things, you don't have to worry about it. It's only for people that have allergies to those ingredients. But I will also mention if there are things that are irritants, found to be irritants to most people. So now that we know what we're looking for, let's go ahead and jump into the lip balms that I would definitely not recommend that you purchase. And just so you know, I do have lip balms from here all the way from under $2, like $1, all the way up to a $65 lip balm. And we're going to talk about whether it's worth it to invest $65 in a lip balm. Spoiler alert. Probably not. Okay, let's talk about the worst one so far. The Blistex medicated lip balms, $2.84 for 3 of them, and it works out to be about $11 per ounce of product, which is pretty low. Number 1 ingredient is beeswax, followed by camphor. Camphor is an irritant to the lips. It can make your lips feel a little bit numb, make them feel a little bit like something's happening on your lips, but it's actually an irritant. Most medicated lip balms have that cooling, mentholated kind of feeling. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's tricking your lips into thinking something good is happening when it's really not good. It's actually something bad. So definitely stay far away from that. There's also flavor in here. There's other waxes. There's lanolin in here. Lanolin is an irritant to some people. Lanolin is a product from sheep's wool. So what they do is they shear the sheep, and then there's like some gooey sebumy stuff that's on the bottom of the sheared, and that is the lanolin. They process it, they remove all of the impurities, and then they put it in products. So lanolin for me is a very good product. It's a lip protecting product. I really love lanolin in my products, but I know that some of you are sensitive to it, do not like it in your products, so I'm mentioning it. There is menthol in this product, which is a no-go. If you are anti-paraben, there are parabens in here. I feel the only reason in my research to be scared of parabens is if you are specifically allergic to parabens. There was a big scare about parabens in cosmetics being cancer-causing. That is found not to be there's no research behind that at this point. So if you want to be extra careful, definitely stay away from it, but really only if you're allergic to it should you be super worried, at least based on my research. Now, we finally get to something that could be hydrating and good for your lips, and that's the cocoa seed butter. So this is mostly a protecting and irritating lip balm. I definitely do not recommend it. The other one is the one that I added due to popular request, and that's the Carmex Original Lip Balm. It's $1.69 for 0.35 ounces, which ends up being about $5 per ounce. Now, the active ingredients in this are the same ones that are in the Blistex, camphor and menthol, but they also add an ingredient called phenol. It is an antibacterial, but it is also been found to be, and I'm not kidding, the word is corrosive to the skin. What? I read that and I was shocked. I will put the Science Direct article down below for you. That is really freaky, but it can numb the skin, and that's why people enjoy the feeling of Carmex. The ones they say are inactive ingredients are things like beeswax, there's flavor, fragrance, lanolin, mineral oil, and petrolatum. We'll get to those in a minute, and then salicylic acid, which is another ingredient that is not good to put on your lips. We talked about that in part 1. Eventually you get to some cocoa seed butter, but this one is not a good lip balm. Please do not buy this Carmex lip balm. It is not good for your lips. Now let's go ahead and move on to the ones that are mostly protecting, but not really healing. So it's not like that these are bad. It's just I think you can do better. The first one is the Chapstick Original. It's $3.49 for 3 of them at Walgreens, and it breaks down to about $8 per ounce. Number 1 ingredient is white petrolatum. Petrolatum has gotten a bad rep because of its origins in petrol, but it's refined so much that by the time it gets into a cosmetic product, a lot of the things that makes petrol and petrolatum, you've now created something completely different. Petrolatum is a really, really good skin protecting ingredient. There's also aloe extract, which is skin soothing. We've got some waxes, fragrance, lanolin, mineral oil. There's some sunscreen in here. This is going to be a really nice protecting lip balm, but there really isn't a whole lot of healing going on in here. This one was by request from my production manager, Tabitha, who is amazing, and I had to put it in for her and those like her who love the Lip Smacker Dr. Pepper lip balms. I also had a request from a mother who wanted to know whether these lip balms were dangerous for her child. So let's talk about it. $5.50 for 4 of them at Ulta. They're 1.1 ounces though, which is huge. They must be like the big giant chunky tubes. $1.25 per ounce, which is really, really cheap. Castor seed oil is the #1 ingredient. Whenever we see castor seed oil, there's gonna be quite a few. That helps your lips to maintain its balance. It doesn't really help it to heal or be better. It just kind of helps the maintenance of things. It is a humectant. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's a good ingredient, but it's not one that I'm so excited about. And we have cetyl acetate, beeswax, and candelia wax. Those are your protecting ingredients. And what the candelia wax is gonna do, it's gonna increase the longevity of the other emollients. Next up is flavor. Of course, it's a lip smacker. It's gonna have flavor. Paraffin is gonna make your lips feel smooth, but it's not really gonna do much other than that. There is some sesame oil, which is a great ingredient to see in lip balms. That's #8 on the list. It does strengthen your skin's barrier, so that's really good. And then some soybean oil, which is a moisturizer and a humectant. So this one is gonna be better than the chapstick, but still not fabulous. Again, we can do better on the healing aspect of the lip balm. Some people are going to be really mad at me for this, but some people are gonna be like, so that's why this doesn't work for me. Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I'm sad to say this is mostly a protecting lip balm. It's $20, ends up being $29 per ounce, which is kind of a mid-range for dollars per ounce. We'll get to some real expensive ones in a little bit. Disosteryl malate, which I believe I'm saying correctly, is an emollient and it's skin softening. But when something says skin softening, I'm wondering whether it means that it's actually making your skin truly soft or it's just making it feel soft. And I couldn't find any more descriptors beyond that for this. Then there's a mineral oil substitute, then lots of texture ingredients. Then #7 ingredient, we finally get to some shea butter, which is skin replenishing. Shea butter is a great ingredient to see in lip balms. It is especially good for dry skin. So really great to see that. And then we have mica, and we're not gonna go all into mica. I'll put some videos down below as far as the sourcing of mica and things. The reason why I'm mentioning mica is because this is probably our 1% mark. If you don't know, in the United States for ingredient lists, the ingredients must be listed in order from greatest concentration to least concentrated until they get to the 1% mark. Once they get to the 1% mark, they can list the ingredients in any order. So I feel like we've probably hit it with the mica here. So after mica, we get to Muru Muru butter, which is a fantastic skin replenishing ingredient. I love Muru Muru butter. I just wish that it was in a higher concentration. Maybe it had to do with the keeping the lip, well, I was gonna say maybe it has to do with keeping the lip balm solid, but it's in a pot, so it doesn't necessarily need to be solid. I wish it was higher up. That would have been nice. It's skin soothing, anti-inflammatory. Then we get to fragrance. And there's lots of other fancy looking ingredients, but chances are there's very, very little of it in the actual product. So this is gonna be mostly a skin protecting lip balm. Again, we can do better. And if you like the Laneige, I have something very similar that has much better ingredients and I believe is a little bit cheaper. So hang tight. Next up, the Aquaphor Lip Repair, $2.99, ends up $9 per ounce, which is very inexpensive. #1 ingredient is petrolatum, so really good for protecting the lips. Then we have our sunscreen ingredients, of course, awesome to see. We do have some glycerin, that's a humectant, it's gonna pull that moisture into your skin. The castor seed oil, which is gonna help maintain your levels there on your lips, your moisture levels. And then finally we get down to some shea butter, which of course is wonderful, but it's relatively far down. So this one is going to be more protecting, a little bit healing, but mostly protecting. Again, we can do better. 2 more in this category, and then we're gonna get into the really good ones. So we have the Nivea Kiss of Moisture. It's $2.99, works out to about $18 per ounce. Again, very inexpensive. Tons and tons of waxes and emollients. At #10, we have the shea butter. We also have fragrance. Again, it's gonna be very much protecting, not very great at the healing aspect. This one, I'm not 100% sure on some things, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Jeffree Star Diet Shane Lip Balm. I'm actually very disappointed in the lack of awesomeness of this because I feel like Jeffree seems to put a lot of pride in his products. He seems to really care about what goes into his product, and to me it looks like he told his chemist, hey, make me a lip balm. And it tasted like root beer, and he's like, cool, let's go. Like, the ingredients really are not great in this. #2 ingredient is gonna be the Major Hydrator butter for this product. It's caprylic and capric triglyceride. You'll see that in a ton of cosmetic products. It's made by chemically messing with coconut oil and glycerin. So you've got a hydrating ingredient and you've got a humectant. So together you would think those would be pretty good. This is a very inexpensive ingredient and it's not seen in a lot of lip balms. So I just don't know. It could be good, it could not be good. I do have a friend that's been using it for a while and is having some trouble with their lips continuing to be chapped. So I know you're watching. Hi. I didn't know if you want me to mention your name, so I'm not mentioning it, but hi, I'm talking about you. So I don't know about that. But beyond that, there really isn't anything good in here as far as healing. We end up with the mineral oil substitute, synthetic beeswax, dimethicone, that disosteryl malate that we talked about earlier, some water, so watch the expiration on this, make sure it doesn't start smelling funky, more silicones, flavor. Finally, at ingredient number 13, we get to some shea butter, and then we get eugenol at number 17, which is not a good fragrance to see in cosmetics in general. So this is mostly protecting, maybe a bit healing, but again, I think we can do much better, especially at the $18 price tag at $150 per ounce. This is very, very expensive. And really, you're not doing any better for your lips than buying the Nivea Kiss of Moisture. You're probably not doing any better, to be very honest with you. Let's go ahead and move on to the good ones, the ones that I do recommend. Now, I want to talk about the Vaseline Cocoa Butter Lip Therapy first. If you're just getting the one that's the plain one that doesn't have the cocoa butter in it, that one is just going to be skin protecting. The pink one has a bunch of flavors and other things in it. I don't recommend the pink one for that reason, but the cocoa butter one, depending on how much cocoa butter is in the product, which there's no way for us to know, this could be a really, really, really good lip balm. I think it's definitely worth spending $2, $8 an ounce to try it and see if it works for you, because this could be very good for you. I know I've used this in the past and really enjoyed it. And I think this is gonna be a good one, especially if you're just on a whim, you're at the drugstore and you need a lip balm, grab the cocoa butter one and see how it works for you. Next, I'm gonna talk about the EOS lip balms. One thing that's really, really important for lip balms that have multiple flavors is that the ingredient list changes depending on the flavor. Things can be very, very different from one EOS lip balm to another one. I couldn't analyze them all, so we're just gonna talk about tropical mango because that was the first one that showed up in my search. It's $2.99, $12 per ounce. Again, very inexpensive. Number one ingredient is sunflower seed oil. That's gonna replenish and strengthen your lips. It's gonna soothe your skin. It's a really, really nice ingredient. So if you pick up an EOS, look for that sunflower seed oil. It has beeswax next, and then coconut oil, carnauba wax, and jojoba oil. Those are all your hydrating ingredients, your sealing in ingredients. Those are all great. But then we get to flavor, limonene and linalool, which are fragrances. So those are not good. So it depends on your personal preference as far as those things. But this particular one, tropical mango, looks really, really good. I would by far pick this one over any of the ones that I've mentioned so far, except for maybe the Vaseline cocoa butter. This one is another one that I'm not sure is worth the price. It's kind of dancing that line. It's like an I think we can do better, but you'll probably be all right kind of one. It's the glossierbalm.com. It's $12, ends up $24 per ounce, which is kind of mid-range. Number one ingredient is petrolatum. It's gonna protect your lips. Number two, castor seed oil is going to keep your lips balanced. 3 is beeswax, again, protecting, lanolin, protecting and also hydrating. Then we get to number 5, which is kupuasu butter. Fantastic ingredient, wonderful moisturizer, rice bran extract, another wonderful moisturizer, also skin softening, and then sunflower extract, which is another wonderful ingredient. There's no fragrance in here. I guess $12 really isn't a lot compared to some of the other ones I'm going to talk about. Kupuasu butter is really nice. Not a no, it's a good one, but you might be able to find something cheaper kind of thing. Now let's go into the very, very expensive land. This is the Mer The Lip Balm. It's $65. It works out to $203 per ounce. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is number one ingredient. Well, let me just tell you. Number one ingredient is petrolatum. Which seems kind of ridiculous to have petrolatum be the number one ingredient in something that costs $65. It's kind of crazy. You'd think it would be some kind of fancy schmancy, whatever, but remember, lips only understand molecular level. That's all they understand. So number one is petrolatum. There's a bunch of texture ingredients after that. Number 8 is aloe leaf extract, which is skin soothing. And then we get into some algae extracts, which can be wonderful for the skin, moisturizing, hydrating. But is it gonna do more than shea butter for your lips? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Then they have some hokey pokey ingredients in here. Malachite and tourmaline, which are rocks. You know, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that believe very strongly in the healing energy of stones and crystals. If that's you, I'm not trying to minimize your belief. If you believe that these things can do wonderful things for you, then this may be a lip balm you want to invest in. But if that's not you, there really hasn't been scientific evidence of those two rocks doing good things for your skin. It's kind of like diamond powder. So I'm sure they ground it into a very fine powder. It definitely, you know, shouldn't feel gritty in any way. They just grind it really fine. But those that sell malachite and tourmaline in products say that they do things like stimulate circulation, stimulate collagen production, and fight free radicals. I have not seen scientific evidence of that. I looked and looked and looked and could not find anything. There's also eucalyptus leaf oil, which is a fragrance. There's listed fragrance in here, and then limonene, which is another fragrance. I personally think that this may do something, meaning that it has, you know, some really good healing as far as the algae extract and some occlusives that are going to hold in the moisture into your lips. But $65, man. Go get you an EOS. We're doing some other really expensive ones for a little while. We'll lower the price point in a little bit. The Dermalogica Nightly Lip Treatment, it's $49, $144 per ounce. Very, very expensive for how much you get. Number one ingredient, water. Make sure you keep an eye on the expiration date. Dimethicone, it's gonna seal in the moisture into your lips. And then we have number 6, which is maltodextrin, which I thought was an interesting ingredient. It's a plant-based sugar, it's a stabilizer and a moisturizer. Then number 8 ingredient, we finally get to shea butter. Number 9 is glycerin, that humectant that's gonna pull the moisture into your skin. And then number 11 is one that's really interesting. It looks like it's a proprietary ingredient, meaning that only Dermalogica is using it. It's called Sweetie Charada Extract. And I couldn't find much info on it except for from the people that sell it. They say it can thicken and strengthen the epidermis. See, I don't know about thickening and strengthening the epidermis. Like, I don't know. I did talk to a professional in the field and they said that they didn't think that that sounded like something that was possible. So, I don't know. But the big thing that's the big no-nos in here are peppermint oil and spearmint oil. And I have to tell you, when I stopped using this winter, stopped using my peppermint chapstick, my lips got so much less dry, so much healthier from stopping to using that. So honestly, even though Dermalogica has a lot of really interesting ingredients in here that should work, because it has that peppermint oil and spearmint oil, you may want to pass on this one. It's such a bummer that they put that in there, but I guess they want people to have that sensorial experience with it. I don't know. I don't know about that one. It's expensive. Next up, another popular one, the Fresh Sugar Advanced Lip Therapy Treatment, $26, ends up $173 per ounce. Oh my gosh, so expensive. Number one ingredient is beeswax. That's gonna, you know, that's your sealing ingredient. And then we have jojoba seed oil, which is a wonderful skin replenishing ingredient. Number 3 is olive oil esters, which should be hydrating. I know I've talked about olive oil in the past and how when there was a study done when people put straight olive oil on their skin, it actually damaged the skin barrier. I don't know if that's the same as olive oil esters because it's a different, they extract the esters from the olive oil. So I don't know if that research will apply to the esters as it does to straight olive oils. I'm just gonna give you that information and you can take with it what you will. Number 4 is hydrated palm kernel glyceride. So if you're anti-palm ingredients because of environmental reasons, you don't wanna purchase these. Castor seed oil, again, grapeseed oil, which is a wonderful ingredient. That's number 6 at the hexylpalmitate, another palm oil derivative. And then number 8 is parfum, fragrance. Then we get to some limonene, citral, linalool, geraniol, all of those fragrances. So if you're weighing heavily on the fragrance and you don't want fragrance in your lip balm, you definitely do not want this, but it should be a good, both protecting and healing lip balm. Now, this is the first product that I have received PR from this brand in the past, so I want to let you know, but I'm gonna tell you what's in it, and you can decide for yourself whether you think that it's good or not. I personally, to be very honest with you, really enjoy this lip balm. This is the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. It's $26, ends up being $50 per ounce, which is inching on that more expensive end. Number 1 ingredient is lanolin. You have to decide for yourself whether lanolin's gonna be good for you or not. My lips love lanolin. It is a protector and a hydrator together. Then we have that castor seed oil. We have blue agave, which is an anti-inflammatory. Then there's olive oil unsaponifiables, maybe. possibly is how you pronounce that. It is what's taken out when they refine the olive oil and they have things left over. That's what that is. So it's a concentrated parts of olive oil. Kind of think of that like the olive oil esters. It's supposed to be very hydrating for your lips, but I couldn't find a ton of research on that specifically in lip care. Next up, we have beeswax and then flavor and vanillin. And eventually we get to trans resveratrol, which is an anti-aging ingredient that's found in red wine. It's found in blueberries. It's found in cranberries. I thought that was really interesting that that was in there. I don't know how much it would help in a lip product, but I think it's kind of cool that they put it in there. So the big yes or no on this one is going to be the lanolin for you. I personally find that it works really, really well for me personally, but you have to decide for you whether it's gonna be good or not. So it's kind of gonna be a maybe. Now, when I put on Twitter that I was going to do this lip balm video, my friend Nady over at Pop Lux was like, I got the drunk elephant lip balm and it was teeny tiny and get them, Jen, tell me how bad they are. And I'm sorry to tell you, Nady, it's actually not that bad, but it is a very small amount of product. It's $18, it's $138 per ounce, which is very, very, very expensive. Coconut oil is the #1 ingredient. I know some people have terrible reactions to coconut oil. So if that's you, you do not want to buy the Drunk Elephant lip balm. If it is not you, I have no problem with coconut oil. It's very moisturizing. It helps prevent moisture loss, and it might help with wound healing, which is a great ingredient for lip balms. Then #2 is marula oil, which is an ingredient that Drunk Elephant uses a lot, and that is very moisturizing, hydrating. It's a really good ingredient. #3 is shea butter, which is an antioxidant, like we've talked about a little while ago. Beeswax is in here. That's going to help protect your lips. There is avocado oil in here, and I know some people are allergic to avocado oil, so I do want to mention that, but if you're not, it shouldn't affect you in that way, in a negative way. So this one is going to be very healing and protecting. It's just very, 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 very overpriced, but it is good, just overpriced. Next up is one that I know Carolyn Hirons, who I've been a bit in contact with through DMs, really loves this one. This is the one that she recommends. This is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm. She said it's always sold out in the UK. I was able to find it. It is linked down below. It's $14.99 here in the US, $11 per ounce, which is very inexpensive, especially for the quality of what you're getting. So #1 ingredient is water, so definitely keep an eye on that expiration. And this is a huge amount of products. It's 1.35 ounces, so it's huge. So make sure that you are definitely checking this for expiring because of the water content in it. There's hydrogenated polyisobutane and dimethicone, which are going to be those protecting ingredients, followed by glycerin, which is going to pull that water from the product into your lips, which is wonderful. And then shea butter, and then panthenol, which is going to be another humectant pulling moisture into your skin. It doesn't seem to have any fragrance in it. This is a fantastic lip balm, and it's going to last you a long time because it's huge. Just keep an eye on the expiration of it. That's the only thing, but this is a highly recommend. Let's move on to Burt's Bees. This has been a staple in my house for years and years and years, the Burt's Bees lip balm. I just did the regular moisturizing lip balm. It's at $3.59, $24 per ounce, again on the lower end. Remember, the different flavors have different bases, so let's talk about the original beeswax, coconut oil, sunflower seed oil, all really great things to see in a lip balm, but then followed by peppermint oil. If you see peppermint oil, just choose a different one. Just pick a different one. Your lips will thank you later. Lanolin is also in here, tocopherol, which some people are sensitive to, but then there's also limonene, linalool, and eugenol, which are all fragrances. Some really good things and some really not so good things in the original. If you're going to choose one, I did find one that I like a lot better. This is the one in mango. #1 ingredient is sunflower seed oil, followed by coconut oil, and then the beeswax. So you've got those hydrating ingredients first, and then the beeswax. That's followed by aroma, natural flavor, castor seed oil, and then mango seed butter, and then lanolin. All wonderful ingredients unless you're sensitive to the lanolin. We do have some limonene and linalool way down at the bottom of the ingredient list, so you have to decide whether that's important for you. But as you can see, that would be the mango would be a much better choice than the original. I actually only have 3 left for you. We are zipping along. Okay, the Sun Bum Sunscreen Lip Balm. This is one my husband and I discovered last summer and love it because it tastes So good. It feels so good on the lips, but let's talk about it. It's $3.99, $27 per ounce. Again, less expensive, but not the least expensive. We have plenty of sunscreen in there. I mean, it's called Sun Balm for a reason. Lots of different sunscreens. It does have a texture ingredient first, followed by aloe leaf extract, which is going to be skin soothing, and then ascorbic acid, which I thought was an interesting ingredient to put in a lip balm. That's vitamin C. When vitamin C is introduced to light and air, it loses a lot of its vitamin C power, but it still should be skin soothing, if nothing else. The next ingredient kind of freaked me out when I saw it, and I had to do research to make sure I gave you accurate information. It's called BHT, and in high amounts, it seemed to have caused kidney and liver effects when ingested by animals. They didn't say specifically how much, and also I would imagine it wasn't mixed with anything, it was just straight. Cosmetic Ingredient Review is a nonpartisan, I guess. Can you say nonpartisan when it comes to this stuff? It's a group that does ingredient research just for the sake of ingredient research, and they're not paid by any companies to do this research. So they are not concerned about this ingredient due to the amount used in cosmetics. And actually they found in some studies that it showed anti-cancer effects, which is super weird to have it in high concentrations have cancer effects, but in other concentrations in other studies have anti-cancer effects. I don't know, it's just more research needs to be done on this ingredient. So it is an antioxidant, and it's sometimes used in cold sore treatment. So if you do have cold sores, this may be something you want to talk to your doctor about an alternative to more expensive cold sore treatments, but definitely talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical professional. Apparently it works for these conditions by damaging the protective outer layer of viral cells. I don't know, that just sounded super interesting. Then there's Candula extract, which is skin soothing, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, green tea, which is an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and then we get to citrus oils, grapefruit, lemon peel, and cucumber fruit extract, which is fine, it's more skin soothing, and then fragrance. You know, you just kind of have to decide based on what I said whether it's right for you or not. Second to last, we have the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. It's $12, which ends up being $24 per ounce. Do you remember during the Laneige when I said I had a better option for you? This is it. It has the same first ingredient, the diisoceryl malate, but the third ingredient is jojoba oil, then followed by shea butter, grapeseed oil, and then carnauba wax. So this is going to give you much stronger lip healing power than the Laneige, but it may give you the same kind of feeling because it has the same kind of base. So if you are not married to the Laneige, you may want to try the First Aid Beauty one as an alternative next time. It may help your lips even more. And then finally, one that I used to buy for my husband every Christmas. This is the Jack Black Intense Lip Therapy Lip Balm, and I chose the shea and vitamin E one because I thought I was giving it the best chance. It's $8, which ends up being $32 per ounce. This one does have sunscreen in it. First ingredient, cocoa seed butter. Second ingredient is lanolin. Third, beeswax, which are the protecting ingredients, followed by shea butter and flavor. We also have avocado oil in there, so if you're allergic to it, you don't want this one. But this one looks great as well, and now I know why my husband loved it so much. He said it worked really well for him, and now I know why. Okay, we've run down all of the lip balms. I hope that you found that helpful. I do want to mention before we go a couple of ways you can help your lips that have nothing to do with lip balms that can help your lips to be healthy. Number one, if you're in a dry area, use a humidifier. That can definitely bring moisture into your lips and stop your lips from being so dry. Exfoliating your lips regularly can definitely help. And if you don't want to buy one, you can actually take sugar and honey and make a little bit of a paste and scrub your lips with it, and it's a lot cheaper than buying one in a tub. If you do buy one in a tub, get one that's the perfect grit for you. You want to make sure it's got some grit in it. I've had some lip scrubs that barely have any grit in them. They're more of a slippy kind of lip balm consistency, but then it's got grit in it. It's super weird. So make sure you get one that has some good solid grit in it so that you can get some real good scrub out of it. If you wear dry lipsticks or matte lip formulas, matte liquid lipsticks that are very dry, it is going to compromise the longevity of your liquid lipstick, but you can put lip balm underneath or over top of those drying products to help your lips to not dry out from wearing these lip products that can make your lips worse. And finally, if you are in an area with a lot of wind, cold, dry, wear a scarf over your mouth because that'll help your lips to not have the moisture sucked out of it by the dry, cold, windy air. And maybe even just doing those things using the lip balms that you already own would be helpful to you. So I wanted to mention those as well. So at this point, my friend, you know what time it is. It is your turn in the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. I would love to know your thoughts about any of the lip balms that I've mentioned in this video, and I know there are hundreds of other lip balms that I could have included. So if I missed something and you have some feedback for it, whether you like it or don't like it, leave it in the comments down below. And if you read someone's comment and it helped you, give them a thumbs up, give them a little thank you comment, let them know that their comment was important to you. Little things do go a long way in this world. And while you're at it, if you did find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It'll tell YouTube to share it with other people so that other people can learn all about lip balms and be able to go into the store and pick a lip balm and know that it's going to probably work pretty well for them. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe before you go. But if you're not ready to go, if you want to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a video for you to watch right down there to hang out with me just a little bit more. But if it's time for you to go, thank you so much for hanging out as long as you did. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!